What up, my love bugs? Ashley Elizabeth here with AHM Artistry, welcoming you to this next episode. Third episode featuring the Too Faced Then and Now 20th anniversary, 20-year anniversary palette series that I am doing. This should be the last featured episode that I'm doing unless, I get a creative bug and I want to do a specific look again using this palette. If you are new to my channel and you didn't know, I did have a couple episodes featuring this palette already. One where I did first impressions and swatches, and I'm also doing a giveaway on that video if you have not entered yet. And then the next episode I did after that was just the eye swatches, so you can see the swatches up close and on eyes, and if they need primer and how they do with the finger, how they do with the brush, all of that stuff. So today I'm going to be doing this look that you see right here, and the reason why I chose to do this look is two parts. Number one, the most requested eye look that I get hands down anytime I get a new palette or just in general is a pink eyeshadow look. So I know this is a little bit different, it's a little bit darker, a little deeper, a little more dramatic, but I added pink. So there you go. Now I'm going to do more pink ones as well. I still want to do a pink look with the Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette, but I think I'm going to do that on Instagram. Sorry it's been delayed, it's just this palette kind of took over my life. And then I also wanted to play around with the black shades in the palette to see how they perform and everything, and if they're difficult or if they're easy, if they're darker than what I thought the swatches were going to be, all of that. So if you want to see how to do this specific halo eye look and see how some of these shadows are performing, let's just go on in and just dive right into this tutorial, okay? Starting with eye primer, as always, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I wanted to use this one today because I wanted to make sure that the eyeshadows perform well with any primer, not just my normal Frankie Rose. So I'm going to go in with that and put it just all over the lids. Now in this palette for me, there are no brow bone shades that will match my skin color to my liking. So I'm going to go into the Too Faced Best Year Ever palette, and my go-to shade, I either use Snow Day or Marshmallow in that palette depending on my look. So I'm going to go in with Snow Day today, and I'm only going to set my brow bone, basically the space underneath my brows. So just there, and sweep it all across there. Now taking my fluffy blending brush, I'm going to be going into the GG shade, which is this really pretty pinkish transition shade. It works beautifully. I'm going to take it right to this outer edge and just make sure that's soft and diffused on the outer corner, and make sure it's all blended up here. So basically just keep blending till you're happy with the transition. So add colors, blend, add, blend, and then move on. So I'm just gonna go in with this flat, rounded, fluffy brush and dip into the same shade, GG, and I'm just gonna do the edges because we're gonna be doing that spotlight there with the black. So this will help with that blend from the black and the little bit of pink and then the pink in the middle. And since my face makeup is already done, I'm going to go in with that same brush, dip it on the tip of the brush, and blend out the lower lash line with that same exact shade. Connecting the two together to make sure you get a nice seamless blend from top to bottom. Now to lay down the black shade, so I'm going to start with, it didn't swatch very well, but I'm going to start with Ooh La La, this one down here, because I don't know if the Ooh and Ah actually has silver flecks in it, and if I have to use that one I will, but let's start with this one because I think it is just like a satin shade. It's not matte and it's not glittery, it's just kind of satiny, you know what I mean? It has like a sheen to it. So I'm going to take that on this little pencil brush right on the edges. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna need to use the other shade. Well, let's see. Maybe I can use this to transition. Kind of have to build that up, don't ya? Since that's more of a transition black shade, let's go in with a little pointed blending crease brush. Dip a little bit of that, and then we'll use it to our advantage. We will make it work for us, right? Not against us. That's a good shade to deepen colors. Not for a full-on black, just almost like a shadowy color. grayish, so I'm not mad at it. Just know that it's not like a full-on black shade. Now I'm gonna go in with like my favorite fluffy blending brush and make sure that is all blended. Now that I've packed down the color and done some blending in that area, I just want to make sure that it's completely blended to my liking. And I packed some more on here. I did get a little bit of fallout with that black shade, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend, if you're going to go in with that, to do your face makeup first. But I used this palette the other day and I didn't experience any fallout, so I was hopefully optimistic. Probably just safe to just do your eye makeup first when using this. Right, and while we are here, again, let's go back with that pencil brush. Try to dip it into Ooh La La and gently smoke out the lower lash line. And this is the flat brush that we first did the transition shade on the lower lash line with. So I'm just gonna blend those two together. Now let's try and dip into the black shade in Ooh and Ah. Hopefully it will take us there, honey. So I'm gonna go in with this angled brush. Seems like it's silver all throughout, but oh well, gotta do what we gotta do, right? And I'm gonna deepen up all the edges and the crease with that shade. I'm getting a little bit of fallout with that, so be warned. See, that deepened it up a lot. This side's more grayish. This is starting to get more black. I will alternate between these brushes to deepen it and get a nice blend before we add that little spotlight color. So just go back and forth if you're following along. Let's see if this sweeps away. I'm nervous. Swept away okay, but it did mess up my makeup a little bit. Oh well. Now I'm gonna take that same pencil brush and deepen up the lower lash line a smidge bit, not too much, just like by the waterline, as close as I can. Now going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, I put a little bit on the back of my hand and I'm going to do this little spotlight halo. I look down and then right above my pupil, put it like that. Kind of bring it down, blend it out, and then start reaching higher and higher. And I bring out the edges a little bit sporadically, if that makes sense, and then I can kind of pat it out after that. And this is the BH Cosmetics number 9 mini concealer brush. I think that's what it's called. This I have been loving since I tried them out. This specific brush is awesome for doing cut creases and halos. It's just a little and it just fits perfectly. Now for the fun part, let's go in with Reality Star, the pink shade. I'm gonna use that same little mini concealer brush because it has a little bit of tack to it. All right, that's cute, but not as intense as I want it. I want to see if I can intensify the shade at all and make it more like what's in the pan. So I'm gonna wet my brush with the primer water from Smashbox, and hopefully that'll liven up her a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Already I can tell the difference. Now it's more like a foiled shadow as opposed to just like a little more intense shimmer. Oh my goodness, so much better. Wow, way more intense. So wet your brush with some of these shades. I did kind of a similar look the other day with the purples and browns in this palette, and the shady biatch was totally fine without wetting it. So it might be like, you know, some shades you might have to wet and some you don't. And now I'm gonna take the Ooh and Ah, the silver shade. I'm gonna take a little tiny bit on my finger because I just want the center of the spotlight to pop. I'm gonna take that and just pat it in the middle. Just adding a little extra sparkle. And you might not be able to see it in camera, but in person I can see this tiny little sheen shift that just looks really pretty. So that's why I'm doing that. Now, do I want to take the pink onto the lower lash line? That's the question. Well, we'll finish up here first. Don't add any more black to this pencil brush that you were using already. Just take whatever you have left and just make sure it's a little blended and not like a super hard line. If you need to redip it into the very first black shade we used called Ooh La La. That way it's more of a gray. Yeah, let's do a little spotlight on the lower lash line. So all I do on this, you don't need much, just match it. And I take my pinky and blend it. Letting my brush again, dip it into Reality Star, that same pink shade that we used on top. I better do my inner corner before I forget again. I'm gonna go in with Zaza, which is that light pink fairy shade. And I'm gonna take it on the same brush that I did my brow bone to start. I don't need this to be super concentrated. I just need it for a little bit of inner corner pop. I want it to be a little more white. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm gonna dip into both Ice Queen and Ooh and Ah, which are the two silver shades in the palette. I'm gonna dance into both of those and let's see if I can brighten it up a little bit. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see it's more glowy now. All right, time for liner and lashes. First, I'm gonna do the upper waterline just with a regular black pencil. This is from the brand called Gorgeous. I'm gonna go in with my Tarte Amazonian Clay liner, dip a little brush into that, and I'm just gonna do the edges on the lower lash line to deepen up that black. And then in right above where the pink is, I'm gonna use from OCC the Anime pink color. This is a liner for eyes, lips, whatever. Kind of blend it into the black so there's like a transition even with the liner. I think I'm gonna do a wing. I think I want to. I don't usually do wings with my halo eyes. Let's just do it. Why not? I'm gonna use the Urban Decay Perversion liner. This liner is, I always feel like it's running out. I think I've said that it's running out for like ever and it actually hasn't. I've decided it's just a very dry liner. Sometimes you have to give it a good shake and like re-wipe it on your hand and then go to use it and it's wet again. Still haven't decided. I like the precision that I get and it's a little more matte. It's not as shiny, but it's a little finicky to work with. That's the right word, finicky. All right, I just went in and put the Tarte Amazonian Clay over the black liquid liner just because I feel like it really intensifies that black and makes it more sharp and cut. And then I went in with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on the top lashes and then the NYX Doll Eyes on the lower lash line because I like that brush for that. And it's waterproof, so if you feel like your eyes water a lot, it's a little bit better. Not completely waterproof, but it does a pretty good job. Now time to pick lashes. So this is the hardest part because I don't want to cover up the halo and I don't have that many lashes right now. I need to do an order. I officially threw away my last pair of House of Lashes Knockout, which I love for a spotlight eye, but I'm gonna go in with the House of Lashes Iconic because you can still see the halo easily and the wing matches the wing because these are very like flared out. So that's something nobody ever talks about, is like picking out lashes for your eye look, not just like a standard one and done, because each lash is going to totally change the look of an eye look, you know? That's why I like to use the Knockout for every single halo eye, because you get the spacing in there so it's still, the spotlight still pops. I want to try something new and I shouldn't use the same lash every time I do a halo eye or else the look just looks repetitive. So we will see how these look. I need to get the Iconic either lights or something because the lash is still a little too long for my eye shape. So they do have other options that the band is shorter and the length is shorter of the lash. So I like that House of Lashes does that. It's really cool. I can dig it. All right, lashes on. They're looking good. I like it. So one last step, which you can either do or not. I mean, all of this you can either do or not. I'm going to take the Urban Decay. This is the Razor Sharp Longwear Liner, and this is in the shade Intergalactic. And I'm going to really make this a halo look. I'm just going to like outline right up here. Just a little bit of sparkle always makes everything even better. All right, my love bugs, here is the final look all done up in all its glory. This eye look is very dramatic, very large and in charge and ready to party. Although truth be told, it's the end of the day and I'm probably gonna take this off soon. Maybe go to the pool because it's so hot. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this look. My thoughts about these shades, now I hadn't played with these shades yet, and that is why I wanted to test this out. The two black shades in the palette are different, which is good, but they are both finicky. They're both a little chalky, both a little powdery. So are they black or grayish shades that I would reach for on purpose out of all the palettes that I have? No. Do they work enough with the palette? Yeah, they work enough. What I did like, something positive about the Ooh and Ah shade, it is one of those shades that will deepen up a color instead of just blacking it out. So that is really nice. The Ooh and Ah shade does seem to have silver flecks in it. So I kind of blended them away though. They were easy to blend away, so I wasn't too silvery in there. So you can kind of work it a little bit, but it really is not a truly deep black shade. I mean, it's kind of like a blackish gray. It's not the most pigmented black that I've ever used at all, which I knew from the swatches that it wasn't going to be, but I just wanted to see with this tutorial, is it workable? And are these shades workable? Yes, they definitely are. Reality Star, I would say, as you saw with the first eye, it was more of like a little more intense shimmer than you're used to, but not like a full-on glitter, and it just wasn't intense. So wetting it obviously took it there. It is really pretty now. It kind of has like a metallic look. Yeah, so far I am still liking it. Just a couple shades you kind of have to work with. With 22 shades in this palette, I guess sometimes there's gonna be ones that are not so easy breezy. So that is it for today. If you stumble upon my channel for the very first time, hey, what's up, welcome. If you want to be a part of our fam bam that we have here, please go down and hit that little subscribe button and then leave me a little heart emoji if you are new and you want to contribute in the comments. I love that. I love when you guys interact with each other, ask me questions, ask somebody else questions, like keep it all fun and fair and have a good time, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this Too Faced series that I've done with the Now and Then 20th anniversary palette. If you do have any special requests still for a shade that you'd like for me to do either here, maybe I'll do it on Instagram or Instagram TV, whatever. Again, thank you guys so much for watching today, and I hope you all have a great, lovely, awesome day.